Subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for the latest updated videos.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Query Solution. So children, in continuation with the topics of genetics that we people are doing, today we are going to discuss on the topic of sex determination. This is one of the last topic with respect to our grade 10 NCERT textbooks, right? And then we are going to learn about the chapters on evolution and the topics on evolution. So in today's video children, we are going to talk in detail the process of sex determination that happen in human. And since we are talking in human, we will definitely talk about the chromosomes which are found in human and also the two different types of somatic and sex chromosomes. What is their condition in male and female, and also we are going to talk about the cells that are there in our body and also about the somatic and the sex cells, and again the condition in the case of male and female. So even if you want to know all this into detail, do watch my video completely. And for now, let us start up with a video. So children, I think since we all have entered in grade 10, you at least know the meaning of the term chromosomes and the cells, especially the cells, right? Because we always talk about cells as our structural unit or the basic unit, or you also might have defined cell as the structural and functional unit. So that's in a way very correct, right? Because cell is something that is forming our body at the smallest level. And when we talk about these cells, children, definitely these cells have have two types of nature. Either the cells can be somatic cells. Now somatic cells are nothing but our body cells, everything that's making up our body, like my hand, even everybody, any part of our body when we talk about which is not a sex organ in particularly, especially the one that produce the sex cells. Now those cells, basically those parts of our body are actually comprising of the somatic cells or the body cells as I am talking about. And then we have something which is known as the sex cell. Now these sex cells are also known as gametes. Now in detail we have already learned, children, in our previous videos on the chapter reproduction, how this condition vary, and in detail what are the in-depth knowledge with respect to gametes and chromosomes. You can check out that video, it's there on my channel. But for today's session, children, definitely we have to know few key points again. So I am taking a quick recap before starting the process of sex determination. Okay. So as I said you, we have two types of cells, the body cells or the somatic cells, and then the sex cells or the gametes, right? And these gametes definitely are different in humans when it comes down to male and female. So I think all of you can answer me in case if I ask a question which I am asking, what is the name of the gamete or the sex cell when it comes to male, children? So many of you get confused and write testis. So that's actually wrong. Testis is the main organ in males which produce the gamete. But again, what is the name of the gamete that the testis produce? So testis produce the gamete which is known as sperm. So again, children, just be clarified, testis is the organ. It's the main sex organ in male that produce the gamete. And what is the name of the gamete? As I said you, the gamete is sperm. Similarly, what is the name of the sex cell or the gamete when it comes to female, children? So the name is ovum or egg, anything you can write. And what is the main organ that produce this ovum and egg? So I think everybody know that are the ovaries, which are there in pair. Even testes are there in pair in the case of males. So till now we are clear that when we talk about sex cells especially or the gametes in the case of human, what is the male sex cell or the gamete? So it is sperm. And what is the female sex cell or the gamete? It is egg or the ovum. Now we all know, children, that when we talk about a cell, there is one structure present inside the cell which is very important, or the controlling unit, something we call as nucleus, right? And inside the nucleus basically there is presence of the genetic material. And in human, what is the genetic material, children? So it is DNA, right? I think everybody knows it's deoxyribose nucleic acid. It's DNA. What's the genetic material in us, in human, right? Okay. So similarly, children, when I am talking about sperm and the ovum, they also have their own genetic material. And we know that this genetic material is present inside such structure in the helical fashion as I am drawing over here. And this structure that I have drawn overall is something which is known as what? It is known as chromosomes. So again, I think everybody has heard about this term chromosome. You already have studied about this in grade 8th, I guess, right? And inside this chromosome, this helical structure that I have drawn, inside it, this helical part that I am drawing over here, that's nothing but this is basically our DNA or the genetic material. So of course children, whenever we talk about nucleus, we are going to talk about chromosomes, because chromosomes are found inside the nucleus, right? And inside the chromosomes, what do we have? So we have the genetic material, which is the DNA. Okay, so since children, I'm talking about the chromosome, I have to tell you what is the number of chromosome in the case of human. Every organism on this planet, children, has got chromosome in a definite number, and number is what is determine the functionality of the individual. If this number vary or if it number change, then in that condition it results into many sorts of abnormalities or different body conditions. That's one of it. So today, since I'm talking about the chromosomes, again the chromosomes are also of two types, children. And before explaining you the two types, let me tell you what is the total number of chromosomes that we have in our body. So in humans, children, the total number of chromosomes that we have is 46. Do remember that, and I think many of you even know about them. And as you people already know, these chromosomes are something that occur in pair. Okay, so they are always there in pair. So if 46 total number of chromosomes will be there in pair, how many pairs are we going to get, children? So we are going to get 23 pair, right? Because 46 divided by 2 is going to give us how much? 23. So we can say either that we have total number of chromosomes as 46, or we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. That's one and the same. Okay, now amongst this 23 pair, children, we have 22 pairs of the chromosomes, which are our somatic chromosomes, as I have written over here. And we have one pair of chromosome which is known as what? That pair is known as the sex chromosome. Now this is something which everybody needs to focus on. So how many pairs we have in human? 23 pairs. Out of 23 pair, how many are somatic pairs? So 22 are our somatic pairs of chromosome, or a total of 44. And how many pair are our sex chromosomes? So only one pair is our sex chromosome. So total how many chromosomes? 2 chromosomes, right? Because as I said you, 2 chromosomes will make up one pair. Right? Now this one pair of sex chromosome, children, will vary in the case of male and in the case of female. In the case of male, there are different 2 chromosomes which are there. In the case of female, there are different chromosomes which are there. So in the case of male, children, the condition of sex chromosome is what? It is X and Y. One chromosome is of X in nature, one is of Y. But when we talk about female, children, the condition of the chromosome is XX. And that is actually what creates the entire set of difference in terms of the sexual organs, and then the further development of the sexual organ, because it's a complete cycle that follow that makes us 2 different individuals, 2 different human beings, as male and as females. So do remember always, when we talk about the male sex chromosome, it's XY, and when we talk about the female sex chromosome, it is XX. Okay, one more thing. When I talk about somatic chromosomes, children, so somatic, as I said you, what is the meaning of the term somatic cells? Body cells, right? So in the body cells, we definitely see which type of chromosomes? Somatic chromosomes. So these somatic chromosomes, children, which are there, they are always there in their diploid conditions. The somatic cells will have the chromosomes which will be diploid. Now again, we have 2 new terms, diploid and haploid. What is the meaning of the term diploid? Diploid means the complete set of chromosome, or the total number of chromosome. So what is the total number? Just now we have seen 46. So a cell, children, which has 46 number of chromosome inside them or inside its nucleus is said to be which type of cell? A diploid cell. Diploid, as I said you, means what? The complete set of chromosome, the entire number of chromosome. So if such cell is there which has only 23 or half the number of chromosome, as you can see, then what you will call such cell as? So it is known as haploid. So I'll write over here what are the 2 terms or 2 cells that I'm talking about. The cells can either be haploid in nature or the cells can either be diploid in nature. What's diploid? Diploid you always represent as 2n. How do you write diploid? You write it as 2n. 2n means double or total. How do you write haploid? Haploid means half. So you write only 1n over here. That's how you represent it. Okay. So as I'm saying, the somatic cells will have what condition of chromosomes into them? They will have diploid. All 46 chromosomes will be there in somatic. But when you talk about gametes, children, please note it down, very very important. When you talk about gametes, children, in the case of gametes or the sex cells, we have half the number of chromosome, that is 23. What is its importance? We are anyway going to know now, right now, because we'll see the process of sex determination in human. But at least till this much session that I have taken, or this much part of the video, you should be at least clear first thing that in our body there are two different types of cells. They can either be somatic cells or the sex cells, right? Somatic cells are nothing but our body cells, and such somatic cells have how many chromosomes into them? They will have the complete set of chromosomes. So the cells will be diploid in nature because they will have all the 46. But at the same time, when you talk about the sex cell or the gametes, children, these sex cells have half the number of chromosome. Now, I will not answer this. I know many of you will have a question, but I want you all to write down in the comment box what is the reason that gametes have half number of chromosome. I want those children who are watching my video, or anyone who is watching my video, to write down the answer in the comment box. And if your answer is correct, you're going to get a hit like button from me. So do comment quickly. Okay. And then sex cells have how many number of chromosomes? So they have 23, or half the number of chromosomes. So if this much part is clear to all of you, now I'll switch quickly to the process of sex determination in human. So children, in continuation with what we people are learning, the process of sex determination. So this is how I have just drawn a quick bifurcation with respect to what are the gametes in the case of male and female, and what is their sex chromosome condition in the case of male and in the case of female. So I think by now everybody know, we have already discussed just now, the name of the gamete which is there in human male is sperm, and the sex chromosome condition in sperm is what? It is XY. And when we talk about females, children, what is the name of the gamete? So it's ovum or egg, and the condition is double X over here, right? And also, as I said you, what is the number of chromosomes that the males will have? So they will have 23 number of chromosome. At the same time, what is the number of chromosomes the female or the ovum will carry? So they will also carry 23. So it's N over here and N over here. It's not diploid 2N as we write. It's N and N. So what is its importance of 23? We will also see that. But for now, let us focus on the process of sex determination. So children, whenever there is a process of reproduction happening in the case of human, we always know that either the newborn babies or the progenies will be either a boy or they will be either a girl, right? So who determines basically that whether a boy will occur or whether a female will take birth? Basically, we might have seen there are so many social discrepancies that occur in our society, children, that females are basically blamed for not producing a male child. So are females really responsible for it? Let us look at a scientific viewpoint of it now. So let's see, children, if this X chromosome from the male fuses with this X chromosome of the female, what is the combination that we will get for the next generation? Let me just write down this as the next generation or the progeny. So it will be, sorry, if this X goes with this X, it will definitely be a XX. And we know what is XX actually going to give rise to. So it is going to give rise to a female, correct? If this X of the male, children, fuses with this X of the female, again, what is the combination we are going to get? Again, X and a X. What will this combination give rise to? So it will produce a progenies which are female in nature. Again, if this Y from the male fuses with this X of the female, what are we going to get? An XY. And in such condition, children, we are going to get a male. Right? Let me write down a male here. And if this Y, children, fuses with this X of the female, what is the condition we are going to get? Again an XY, and this XY is again going to give us a male. Now this is what actually, children, happens in the human body scientifically. In real, if you see, nobody is responsible for the production of the child. No one is actually, as you have seen over here, it's in nobody's hand. It's just a matter of chance that which chromosome is fusing with which one. And depending on the fusion, as you can see over here, the possibility of producing a female to male is what? It is 50-50%. As you can see in this combination, there is a possibility of production of 50% of male and 50% of female. So there is no bifurcated rule how we can have a male child and a female child, and that's what scientifically follows in our body, children. So this everybody should take care of, that it's into nobody's hand to produce a demanding progeny. Basically, it's basically a choice by nature. Whatever chromosomes can fuse, the possibility can arise. So as you can see in the process of sex determination, children, that 50% chance, as you can see, is in a chance of production of female. At the same time, 50% is the chance that a male child can be produced. Now let us see what is this 23 that I was talking about. So 23 chromosome, children, as I have already said you, that for a progeny that has to be born as human, even for a human newborn baby, or even when the zygote of the baby will form, the baby also should have 46 chromosomes, right? And for this 46 chromosomes to have in the baby, how much is the sperm contributing? So it is contributing 23. How much is the female's X contributing? So it is also contributing 23. And what is the combination of 23 and 23? So it is actually 46. So that based on this condition only, children, whenever we talk about the sex chromosomes in the case of human, that's one of the thing, why are they diploid in nature? Because they are diploid so that they both can combine together and can restore the normal chromosome condition in human. Because just imagine, if their sperm would be contributing 46 and 46, what would be the number? The number would be very high and it will not get restored to the normal condition. So that's one of the reasons, children, that whenever we talk about sex chromosomes or basically the gametes are haploid in nature. And why are they haploid? Basically so that they can combine during the process of sexual reproduction and can restore the normal condition of chromosomes in the case of human. Right? So that was all about my today's session, children. I hope you are clear with the video. If you still have doubt, you can ask to me in the comment section box and I'll be very happy to help you people. So keep studying, keep following my channel, hit a like button. Don't forget to subscribe my channel if you're liking my video. Do refer it to your friends too. Thank you, all of you.